Introduction to the temple scene. In the depths of winter, we withdraw from the outside world, while during the summer we live outside and look into the sky. In this way, we experience the inside, but also the outside of ourselves. This living within and without has changed over thousands of years. The human being changed, becoming more conscious of him or herself, from a life within the soul to an awareness of what is happening around him or herself, and of course, especially an awareness of others. For us today, we're able to strengthen experiences in a manifold way. And it can become ever easier to discover that one can lose oneself and with a conscious effort find oneself even in another person. Of course, in the past this was guided from above and therefore possible only through love. Is it of help to understand how one soul is able to enter another as it was experienced through highest guidance in the temple scene? Living into such an idea can perhaps slowly open a door to our understanding of how one soul and self, the I or ego, could enter into another. Such facts can be found in past artistic inspirations. Just consider the length of time from the year 0, when Jesus was born, to our time, 2022. This little help for understanding the flow of time to us is a truth that becomes only possible when we can accept two worlds. One of the Spirit with the Trinity and highly evolved angelic beings, and our own world in which we live our life on earth. If this becomes a meditation exercise, it will slowly open a door into the idea of reincarnation. A life imbued with honesty and love, the wish for healing and helping others, as well as bearing their burden and sacrifice, will become a pure, passionless striving in the Spirit. This is accompanied by highest angels as well as the Trinity with the Christ as our representative on earth. Over many incarnations, it became possible for our earthly evolution to continue into the future when God announced that He would send His only Son to us. The whole stream of bodhisattvas and the Buddha himself, belonging into the wonderful Eastern stream, has become supported and strengthened by the Christ. No evil can hold us back in understanding the world's mysteries. Only higher beings know what we need in our time. They're looking for open hearts and minds. In case of the two Jesus children, there was incarnated in the Luke child, the so-called Adam's sister soul. What is meant by this? When mankind was cast from paradise because they had followed Lucifer's temptation to eat an apple of the forbidden tree from the tree of knowledge, one single human soul was held back from being exposed to Lucifer and Ahriman on earth. This soul was held in paradise, so the story goes, until the imminent incarnation of the Luke Jesus child. Then this soul became the Nathan Jesus child, described in the Luke Gospel. So pure was he, that in his younger years he called back a snake to pull out the poison to free his friend from its painful bite. When Zarathustra's ego, with his wisdom acquired over uncountable years, entered the Nathan soul in the temple scene, Jesus of Nazareth was able to speak to the learned man in the temple. The temple scene. The children are growing, and so blossoms my poem. One reaches out to the other and experiences himself as a brother, while both parent couples befriend each other. The time draws near, the temple scene, where one can hear angelic whispers far and wide. The two are meant to merge into just one. Can that be done? Yes, the Solomon ego flies across, and at a moment's notice, all is part of the holy scene. Above, the loving nascent child, who now, so wise, so self-assured, without a plan, begins to answer questions of the holy man. Did they find a new masters in a child? After a while, it seems, the parents left the sacred ground, thinking that their boy had gone with friends. Yet not anywhere could he be found. Anxiously they returned to the temple scene, and instantly they found their son among the most holy, learned men, answering their questions all while teaching. We have been searching for you, fearing you were lost in the crowd. Jesus of Nazareth was not disturbed, but calmly answered, unperturbed, "Don't you see? I must be in my Father's house. Where else could I have been? This is my throne." Relieved from their fear, they took their child and began their journey home. After the temple scene, the Nathan Mary, so young and loved by everyone, soon died. After the temple scene was done, had she fulfilled her task? We might ask. How did she feel? Did she no longer know her son? He had become so wise and devoid of fun. In the large Solomon family, the eldest son, whose ego had moved on, now began to lose all his strength. After healing efforts to save him had failed, he too died and left the earth. Had the Son of God, for us the Christ, from highest wisdom's spheres, decided the fate that shaped destinies here? Everything that happened occurred only to follow a highest calling, that he could find in 18 years a place to incarnate in the Jordan with the help of St. John, the initiate. Here we stand in freedom before a story that seems to have reached its end. Does one feel frustration? Perhaps. If all doubting is changed into trust and acceptance that there are angels who work with us becomes a wonder and strong realization, then a new beginning will take place. Enveloped in wisdom's grace, remember an underlying fact: the evolution of the earth we must protect from all evil forces who try to remain undetected. Today, few people can relate to this strange situation. Yet, in meditation, one can hope for inspiration. In highest regions, everything was hailed, except where serious insight failed. There are fallen angels who inspire man through thinking, feeling, and through willing. In legends and in art are shown, and as three beasts they are well known. In this case, are we allowed to speak of God? If we doubt what for us he brought, he has sent for us his only Son, who alone is the one with our help to save mankind.